everyone. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, today we have a very special guest with us, Divyansh. So he'll be sharing all his journey and all his lessons that he have learned in his tech life. So Divyansh, let's start with your introduction to the audience.
Thank you for having me here. Firstly, it's a quite exciting place. I like the setup and all this is really, really nice. Uh, so my journey has started in 2019 when I got passed out and then I joined a startup company. Then I switched over to another fintech organization called Pine Labs, and there I was working for 2 years. That was when I learned a lot of new stuff and a lot of new tech skills there, and that actually was a prime time in my career where I actually learned a lot of stuff there. And then currently, like Salesforce things happen. I'm actually working in Salesforce. It's going to be 2 years in December, and a lot of exciting stuff.
Thanks for explaining this, Divyansh. I think we have lots of things to discuss with you, right? There are so many things that I've been asked, and I'm sure that people must be asking you too. So maybe this podcast can definitely help them. So first thing, Divyansh, that I always get is that you have started your journey from a startup, right? And I believe the work pressure and kind of things that you have at that time. So how you managed doing the full-time job and preparing for the job switch as well? What was their strategy?
Yes, it's a kind of, I would say, a hustle, because when you are doing a job and then you are preparing for it, it's not an easy journey, to be honest. It's quite a brutal one, I would say. But yeah, I used to find time like 1 hour after my work, that I used to make it consistent, that after work I'll find at least 1 hour during weekdays, and weekends would go for more deeper studies. So my weekends would be more into like 6 to 7 hour at one stretch. So that is something I kept consistent for, let's say, for a few months. And it actually kind of helped me. So I think this consistency is something is going to be important when you're preparing simultaneously with the job.
Got it. So Divyansh, like when we talk about top tech companies, right? So the initial point itself for these companies is DSA, right? And many folks do start, but at a certain point they are confused. They do see solutions. They are not able to come up with the approach. And I'm sure everyone who has started, even you have started, you must have even faced the same. So how someone can master this approach? I mean, solving problems. And sometimes people have this thing also that I have to solve 500 questions, then only I should appear for interviews or things like that.
Yeah, I mean, and that is where things actually gets difficult, I would say. So now this crunch time actually asks for a smart work instead of hard work. So if anybody wants to get ahead with the preparation, let's say in DSA particularly, so it's a sea of knowledge. If you cannot just go and randomly and solve questions. So I would say if you're targeting some specific companies, we have lead codes and we have geeks for geeks, where you can just target the specific questions related to that particular companies. That actually saves a lot of time. That actually helps you in actually preparing particularly for that particular company which you are targeting at. That actually helped me when I was preparing for Salesforce or any other organizations. So that actually helped me instead of over analyzing and instead of going into theoretical part. So sometimes I would feel very much overwhelmed because there's a sea of knowledge and you cannot just cannot get stuck at one point. So I would say just hit the right questions, nowadays everything is available on internet, YouTube, everywhere. Just target the companies which you want to try those questions, and don't spend too much time if you're not able to solve that questions. So see the solutions, try to understand the thought process, analyze it and implement it, and then get ahead with it. So that actually helps. that would
Right. And I very much agree on the point that you have mentioned. Company specific preparation kind of that helps, right? Because on lead code you can just put the filter. There are so many questions, and I don't think there will be a time when you will feel okay, I have solved all of them and now I'm ready. Because I think we always have this procrastination thing, and we used to think that not as of now. Great. So see, we talked about DSA, right, Divyansh, but nowadays, there is this another thing that has come up in the interview process, that is system design. So before it was for experienced folks, but now companies expect that even freshers should have some fundamental knowledge about it. So what's your take on system design, how one should prepare about it? Like some of the folks are trying to to rectification kind of thing about it. What's your take on it? I mean, why, first of all, why it is important, and how one should approach it from a fresher perspective or an experienced folk perspective?
So why it is important? Because nowadays companies don't want to invest much time on freshers, that you learn gradually and will actually make you learn about it. System design has actually become a very important part when it comes to development, at least for somebody who has just passed out from college. See, I somebody believe whatever questions I have tackled as far as system design is concerned, I have given interviews in a lot of companies, from a lot of good companies, a lot of mid-level organizations, and everywhere. I have seen they are mostly interested in fundamentals. So what people or what folks does these days is that they get carried away with a lot of difficult question, advanced level question, and all that. But interviewer is more interested in your fundamentals, that whether your fundamentals regarding system design and everything is kind of clear or not. So if you are very good at, and if you have a very group at the fundamentals of system design, there is enough. I don't want to name the resources. Every resource is absolutely great on the internet available. So stick to the fundamentals, go deep dive into the fundamentals, because that is where interviewers want to get hold of you. And if you are very good at fundamentals, I think even interviewers are not interested in to know the solutions. They are more interested in regarding your approach and your concept and all. So that is actually, I would suggest to everyone, because it helped me, and that is something I am a keen believer of.
Okay. And one thing what I feel about this system design thing is that it's not like there is a particular specific solution. Everyone has their different solution, and you should not study about it or explore it from the interview perspective, because this is something which eventually you should know. When with experience you'll be becoming a senior engineer or something, you should know how we have to make a system, because it's not all about coding. First you will be having a particular problem, then thinking what all components will be needed, and then implementation is the last part, I feel.
Just to add to that, I mean, what you're saying about absolutely correct. There was one instance where I was giving interview about this. I don't want to name the organization, but it was I was not able to solve the solution exactly, but they were more interested because my fundamentals were pretty clear. They started asking questions regarding those fundamentals, and they deep dive into those fundamentals, very basic questions, and they said it's fine if you haven't solved the solution, it's okay. I mean, I think you're pretty much ready for it because your fundamentals are very good. So I think that actually helps. Solution is nobody's looking at it.
Right, exactly. So Divyansh, even though we know there are lots of resources, but still students or even the experienced folks keep asking what is that thing that you followed. So if you can just let us know. For DSA maybe I'm taking lead code, but if there is any other thing, please let us know. And for system design as well, what exactly you followed?
Yeah, so it is a mix of a lot of things, but I won't beat around the bush and just say a lot of articles and go. Just two things you need to follow: lead code and Geeks for Geeks. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. If you focus on those particular, let's say, lead code for problem solvings and all, even in system designing related things are absolutely available in Geeks for Geeks as well. So these two resources are enough if you're prepared diligently for any specific roles. I think you can master it in within due course of time with proper consistency and, like I said, smart work.
Got it. So Divyansh, like right now you are working in Salesforce, so let's have a look about its interview process. So can you first of all just let us know how it all started, getting call, and then the interview rounds you went through? No need to mention the exact specific questions, obviously, but if you can just give us the idea about a difficulty level and the kind of topics that you were asked.
Yeah, so I mean, it was around 5 rounds of interviews. It started with recruiter screening round, and then it went to 2 coding rounds, which was on Hacker Earth, and it was again a properly DSA related questions and all that, and then we have a technical rounds which carried again coding problems plus system designs and um, question related to whatever projects you have worked on and area of expertise. And then Salesforce has this very unique round called cultural fit, which is their tagline that they focus on trust and customer success. So they want to actually check the candidate on that front also, that how candidate is actually kind of doing on that front, how is he or she is a culturally fit for the organizations or not, and followed by the managerial round itself. So yeah, it actually revolves around 4 to 5 rounds, depends upon the job descriptions and the kind of requirement it is.
Okay. So you talked about managerial round. So what happened that often we think that it's all about the technical things. If we are good at it,
Yeah.
we'll be selected. But I have seen many candidates who has been rejected in the last round. So what are your tips and what do you think is needed for the managerial round?
So managerial round is mostly it's a kind of mix of both technical and non-technical and your soft skills as well, like how you're going to take up the challenging situations and all. I would just recommend just be honest. You don't have to bluff things, because that is where most of the candidates get trapped in. Just be honest whatever you have done, and but yes, there should be a way to communicate everything, what how actually you are doing and everything, because I see a lot of people undermine the value of storytelling. So you should be very good at storytelling about your projects, how your project has been developed, how you have actually built it over the period of time. So storytelling is a very important aspect, and I mean, and of course the soft skills, because unless you're not able to express your ideas, it's going to be a difficult thing. So yeah, that's the 3 things I would suggest: be honest, storytelling, and communication skills, soft skills.
Great points, Divyansh. Well, we are talking about the interview process and everything, but I see there are many candidates. Even when I was in my this journey, job search journey, even you must have faced the same. That often we didn't even get the calls, right? So what is the way? Like sometimes people think that it's about their college. Maybe they are from Tier-3 college. Even you are from Tier-3 college, right? So what are the challenges you faced, and if there is any strategy or something that you follow that has helped you to get the calls from the recruiters?
Yeah, that's a nice question. I mean, it actually add a few hurdles for sure when you are not from a premier colleges, because the kind of brand pooling you get from premier colleges is something, it doesn't come easily to somebody who is from non-premier colleges. So you have to compensate with project visibility and networking. But like again said, once you prove yourself that you're good at it, and by doing a lot of stuffs, like when I was doing it, I used to, I mean, portray my visibility to LinkedIn. LinkedIn was my second best friend, and I used to kind of go to LinkedIn and used to write my projects or my thoughts on ideas, whatever I'm doing on, and that actually helped in creating networking with a lot of new folks, a lot of good folks as well, who were at good positions. So that is where I got a call from good companies, all those, because LinkedIn actually helped me a lot there. But you should be very much aware how to use LinkedIn. You just cannot go and write anything on the LinkedIn. You should. So what I used to do is I used to have a template of my message. I used to send that particular template message to every recruiter that I'm doing this and I'm good at this. I have currently this expertise. So let me know if there's any call. Let's suppose even 100 messages if you send in one day, at least 5 or 10 you would get a call back from. So yeah, that helps it. And once you prove your skills regarding different portfolio, I was having code chef and this ACM, ICPC, all these rankings and all. So that actually helped me in the visibility and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. Once you are good at anything, I mean, if once in, I mean, nobody cares which ground you are trained at once you start smashing sixes, right? So it's as simple as that.
Right, and I agree, Divyansh. Like once you have mentioned about LinkedIn, so it's very like many people do reach out, but you mentioned about the template. There is a way to reach out to someone, and again, there will be many people who will be busy and might not be checking. So it's not just you have sent to a one person regarding the referral or job opening or whatever, and then you are just okay, I'll be getting the revert back. You have to reach out to so many folks, as you have said. So when we start with this journey, job search journey, so it's not that easy that just you are just pinging few people and expecting a revert back. You have to ask to many people. And one more thing that you have added is your you have to do something unique, as you have to showcase them. Like for example, if someone is referring you, like if you got the referral for Salesforce, let's say, so you have to show them this is what I have, this is my lead code profile, this is my coachship profile, so that they can actually trust yes, this candidate is deserving, he'll be able to clear the rounds. So that's a very good point. So take your LinkedIn seriously, guys. Now Divyansh, now you must be knowing that there are certain layoffs going on and things are kind of uncertain in tech because of AI. Many people, freshers especially, because they are someone who has yet to start or like just starting, so they are very afraid of this AI. So what do you say about it? Like what's the coming future is going to be? And right now we are also using certain AI tools, so how does it look to you, like in coming time, how the tech will be? What about the jobs, or what's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, coming future is something even I'm not sure about how it's gonna be. But yeah, AI is going to make a paradigm shift, that is for sure. It's going to take a giant leap in at least in IT sector. But I think for anybody who's actually getting, I mean, these days I see a lot of degrees in BTech which has computer science plus AI and all that stuff have started in the college. So that is going to help. But yeah, anybody who's coming out of college, I would say you don't have to fear AI. You just have to, embrace the AI. It's because AI is something. It's as simple as that. Ki human efficiency plus AI efficiency, both mixture of both is going to work. So nowadays nobody wants to have a coder, rather than they want a problem solver who can actually guide and train the AI models like ChatGPTs and Geminis and all. Do take help of ChatGPTs and all AI models, but don't skip the fundamentals. That is always going to stay with you. That is something, even because when AI fails, then it's a human brain where it's gonna help you. Layoffs, yeah, I mean, even organizations are trying to test how things are going to work and all these things are happening, but I don't think you should be feeling overwhelmed or kind of anxious about it, because until unless you have a proper knowledge and you're good at your thing, I think nobody's going to take your job.
Right. And one thing that you mentioned about fundamentals, so there is one question that just came into my mind. Like someone asked that what's the need of learning programming languages now when we have AI, it can do everything. But that's the thing, right? You should know the fundamentals, at least some basic syntax, how the things are actually working in the backend. If you yourself are completely relying on AI for everything, then definitely it can harm you. And
yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, see, even let's forget about AI. When Google was there, when the internet was there, there is a way to search something on internet. Until unless you don't have a prior knowledge or basic fundamental knowledge, you will type anything and Google will give any answers. Let's say we were using Stack Overflow. To implement Stack Overflow thing to our code, you need at least some background knowledge, some fundamental knowledge, because Stack Overflow never used to have exact answers. You used to have your own brain, your fundamentals, and then used to say, okay, this is the thought process I need to implement in this question because this is what it is written here. So that is how you can actually, so fundamentals is always gonna be there. A lot of times even ChatGPT and Geminis, they give you wrong answers.
Right.
So that is where your human brain and your fundamental knowledge that comes into the picture, and you have to actually work accordingly. So I would say, fundamentals is very important at that point of time.
Right. So Divyansh, I think these were some of the questions that I was having to discuss with you, and I'm sure that whoever is watching this podcast, it's going to be really helpful for them. But before wrapping up the things, I want to ask you if there's any advice or anything you want to say to the people who are watching this podcast currently.
Yeah, sure. Uh, I think somebody who's just coming out of a college of freshers, because in India we have a lot of engineers every year. So I would say don't follow shortcuts. Try to break your preparation in 3 stages. One is coding, second is system design, and third is communication, or let's say soft skills. Because unless you're not good at your soft skills, you won't be able to communicate your answers and that is where a lot of candidates gets are disqualified, and they don't do it. And again, the art of storytelling. You should be knowing how to tell your how to explain your project journey to the candidate, and don't undermine the effect of LinkedIn, because again, it's always going to help you. Even if you're feeling that you're not getting the calls and all, keep applying, because sometimes it's you never know which path will come, and something will actually hit the right cell. So that is it.
Right. Very much I agree on it, and I must say all the points are very good and very important for you. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.
Thank you.